Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue Spookcast. This is the Spookcast where My name is Apo, this is Vincent, and today we are doing 2017's very own The Ritual. Netflix's very own The Ritual. Because it's Spooktober and we're just doing Netflix horror movies here in Spooktober. Do you know what I mean? So we are doing The Ritual. I'm going to give you the facts. We'll get into it. 6.3 out of 10 on the IMDb, 74% on the Rotten Tomatoes. A trip to the Swedish wilderness turns murky as four friends try to mend their strained relationships. However, in the forest, they realize they are not alone. Because they got friendship, they got each other, they're not alone. That's the story here. We're doing The Ritual. Let me tell you, from the reviews, in a nutshell, 92% of people loved the acting. Did we, though? That's the key here.
Yeah, it's fine.
It was fine. It was fine. We're going to get into The Ritual today. Another, hour and 34-minute joint, just keeping it short, keeping it sweet. We'll get into it. I mean, we're going to get into it.
So that's specifically what we came here to do.
Because if we didn't get into it, who would? Probably many people in 2017.
I've not seen one other person cover The Ritual.
I've not seen it, man.
I've not seen it.
I personally haven't seen it. But we're doing it today. We're groundbreaking here.
I didn't even know about The Ritual until 6 hours ago.
When you watched it. Now, Vincent,
while I was eating my morning Wheat Bix and banana.
And that's good carbs, man.
It was fantastic,
And fiber.
There were like people dying on the screen. I'm like, oh, man.
And they die gruesomely.
Dude, their guts everywhere. Jeez. I'm just eating. I'm like getting another Wheat Bix, putting milk over it. Because I do one at a time.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Nah.
Because you can't just have them all the same.
No, it's good because you get the crunch at the start. Because if you put milk over it again, you get it all soaked.
Yes.
You get the initial crunch. It's not dry. The milk's still, it's flowing through.
Yeah.
From A to B, to Bix, if you will. And then as you're eating it, because you gotta scoop it up, I cut it in half with the spoon, and then I cut the halves into halves, so it's in quarters.
Yeah.
But I do them individually. So I do half and then quarter, eat one, put the banana on it, eat it, next one, eat it, cut the other one in half, eat the other quarter. So there's time, so the last ones get a little bit of the salt. So you get the whole life cycle of the Bix in each Bix. And this is The Ritual.
I was going to say, we're doing 2017's The Ritual right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. The issue that I have with that is you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Well, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Breakfast is the time of the day where you say, like, this is what life is. I gotta face the harsh realities of life now, so that when the real realities come in, I'm sort of coasting.
Yeah, but you and me live very different lives. Because you'll get up at like 5 a.m., you do some sort of activities, you have breakfast, you'll be out the door. Whereas I'll get up at like 7.
Which is still like, relatively early.
I'll sit on the couch for a bit, then I eat my Wheat Bix, and then I'll clock on about like 10.
And you're doing like arithmetic to try to figure out like how can I get the perfect Bix in each bite.
That's my work. That's my work.
And we're doing The Ritual here, but like cereal is really it's
a ritual.
It is a ritual.
Like for me, it's a ritual.
And what do the people say? What do those people say?
If in doubt, kick it out.
We said it right here first. Listen, here's The Ritual, right? The Ritual's about friendship. Strained friendships.
And strange friendships.
And strange and by hiking,
And hiking.
This movie it's a short movie, but it feels long. And I feel that the reason that it feels long is because
they're walking here.
They're walking for a lot of the time and not much happens.
I like this movie until they showed the
thing. We completely differ here.
For real?
Yeah, yeah.
That's wild. See, I was watching this movie and I'm going, okay, this is interesting. There's something around. This man's wet in the bed, and I can relate to that because as a child I was wet in the bed.
the one man's like praying naked to a deity, and I can relate to that.
See,
most mornings I wake up naked and I'm thinking, where's my Wheat Bix?
And that's all relatable stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone named Gail, so I wasn't yelling that.
I once thought I did my meniscus though.
Yeah.
I thought that because my leg wasn't stretching. Ooh. It was just locked in position.
So, it's at least a relatable adjacent.
Yeah, yeah. And you got glasses and that man had glasses.
Exactly.
Here's the thing why I didn't feel like it was the movie for me. And this is for me, is because, yes, there was a lot of lead up to seeing this monster, but there never felt like it was suspenseful lead up. Like, you know, that feeling of there's
You always had this. There was something out there you didn't know. Man's is waking up. It's like the supermarket, but there's grass.
There was that.
There was that.
I can't argue that there wasn't that. Like, that was right in front of me on the screen.
There was a scene on the screen of that.
But what I liked, you know, there were certain scenes that I did like. You know, for example, the hand on the tree. That's scary. That's scary, but it's not necessarily what I wanted in terms of suspense. Okay. I feel like they could have held on to some things a little bit longer in each scene and been like, hey, let's just like draw this out a bit to really get the feeling of suspense. And we don't have to do a jump scare to finish. We just have to say there's something.
They didn't do
there.
any jump scares though, did they?
It was just it was basic ones. I wouldn't say it was riddled.
No, I didn't say I don't.
It
I
definitely wasn't
didn't
riddled.
get jump scared.
No, but there was some scares that would jump of the jump adjacent.
Okay.
But it wasn't like that wasn't their only means of scares.
Yeah.
But I feel like there could have just been some times where it held off a little bit more. Hey, we've got this beast in the wilderness. It's ripping people apart. It's doing that. But then the issue that I had was they showed that monster early in the film, in the piece.
Not really.
I mean, they showed it when they're walking up a hill and then the monster's just sitting in the background and goes like, hey, I'm here. And now you see the general size and like depth of my character.
I guess you could, yeah, but you didn't really see. I know what you mean. You see the size of it. You see the general proportions.
You see the general proportions, and I feel that was enough to make me know too much about that monster leading into the
I think
next
I
parts.
must have missed that because I just saw it like leaving.
Yeah, that's the one when it's leaving.
Yeah.
It's like in the background, it's standing there and it's leaving.
Yeah, I didn't see it in the background. I just saw it leave, and I just thought, oh, it's a big thing.
It's a big beast.
It's a big beast.
In saying that, though, you know, in terms of the design of the monster,
I will agree with you. The design of the monster is unreal. When it was like patting his face,
dude,
at the end, dude, that was brazy.
Dude, and
then it comes up. It reminded me of. Have you ever played the game The Forest?
I haven't played it, but I know the one.
But there's heads in those games that they're like people, but they've got like
Limbs and appendages.
they've just got weird limbs looking. You know, they've got like 5 legs, and they're just regular people legs, but they're 5 of them.
Yeah.
And then they've got like 2 torsos. Like this thing looked like it had when it.
Dude, when
That
that
was
thing
cool.
when it stretches out,
But I just think I don't know.
we won't jump into it too much yet. Let's go from the.
We won't jump into it because
we jumped
did
into
the Bix. We're doing the ritual, and then we'll do the monster at the end.
That's right. Yeah. What were your thoughts on like the lead up?
I thought the suspense was cool. They go into the house. I wasn't expecting it to be as soon that like, oh man, things happening.
It was quick, wasn't it?
It was quick. I
Like
mean, but it is the movie was an hour and a half.
That's right. You got to get
So
them done early.
it's fairly swift.
When
But I did still feel suspense that you got the markings. They wake up and there's markings, and then they've excremented in the bed and they're praying and they're naked and
But could there have been a bit more of that before they got to praying and naked?
like what?
You know, we saw. I mean, we did see the deer though. We did see the deer getting pulled apart in the. Was that pre the?
That was pre. Yeah, it was pre.
We did see some markings.
Yeah.
That's true. Did we hear any like noises or things in the background?
He heard some
movement?
noises when we were going up to the house, the first house.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? There was some suspenseful moments. You know. Now that I'm thinking back on it, there was some suspenseful moments.
But I think it was still good, that part of, they're in the house and they all have nightmares because they didn't have anything. I like when they don't show the monster. I really like that.
That's you got to do it with, especially with a Netflix film in which you ain't got that much for the budget. You just got to work with what you got.
But man,
Talk to me.
nah, because we're getting to that after. We've done the beats, we're doing the ritual.
Yeah.
So I thought the dynamics between the people, that's pretty good. I mean, I've been to Britain. You've been to Britain.
We've been there.
That seemed pretty like these are British men.
And they seemed like heads that were going camping.
That's right. They seemed like heads that were mates that were going camping.
And there was obviously some strain on the relationship because like one man watched his friend die and just sat there.
Which, I mean, how can you blame a man for that?
I mean, this is fight, flight or freeze in action.
Well, the reality of the situation is, because I was looking at that. I was looking at the scenario. I'm going, he's there. He's got a vodka bottle, right?
Yeah.
In his hand. He's thinking, do I go and smack? The issue is, that's a fair distance. So he's got to either sneak real quietly around the other side
Right.
and hit them, or he's got to charge. Now, charging is not going to be good because this man, they had like machetes.
Do you see that long stick that guy had?
Dude had
Slice
something
him.
crazy.
Like that was
some like Lupe Fiasco business.
100%. You know what I'm saying?
So the charging wouldn't have been good. And if, you start creeping around,
Nah, dude.
there's issues.
This is the cheat code here. This is like the game plan. The blueprint, I'm putting it out there. I'm like the Jay-Z of this. And maybe I'm not like the Jay-Z because like there's records he's hanging out with people that he should be hanging out with.
You're not going to say like get naked.
No.
I know that's
wear
your
white and then get naked.
I know that's your 101 how to stop a home invasion.
I mean, look, if you did the ritual of the home invasion out there in public, people go, whoa. That'd give you enough time to make some moves.
Whoa. I didn't know that was the situation here. Look, we'll just rob the guy next door.
Nah, here's what you do. You come from that distance because you got distance between you. That's on your side now.
Yep.
And then you just go you start screaming and you just start throwing bottles.
You give him the Forrest Whitaker eye.
You give him the Forrest Whitaker eye. You start throwing bottles. And that's enough to whoa, and then make the move.
Yeah, but then you've got a 2v2. You got your boy there who's in proximity of the sword.
Yeah, but you think the sword man's going to come after your boy?
He's right there.
He's going to be like, oh, bottles, like vodka bottles, everything.
Oh, bottles.
And then he might be like, retreat, they've got numbers.
Bro, this is not like Modern Warfare 2.
Or it's enough to cause hey, there's some
dude,
ruckus
they were jittery.
going on
They were obviously on some sort of amphetamine.
They were on amphetamines, I know. But you cop a bottle to the head, amphetamines or not, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, but that's also you need to aim. You need to make sure you're hitting that. And, you still have to throw the bottle pretty hard.
Let's say you miss, okay?
Yeah.
Right? You pick up a couple bottles, you throw them. They're coming.
You say pick up a couple bottles. You can pick up one in each hand. That's all you can pick up.
That's a couple.
I know, but when you're saying you're throwing bottles.
Yeah, but I'm like...
Bro, this is not...
I'm not even grabbing it from the handle. I'm just grabbing from wherever I can grab them. I might hit my friend, but that's all a part of it. Because if you throw the bottle at your own mate, they're going to be like, whoa, this guy's crazy. He might be with us or he might not be. But what I'm trying to say is you create enough chaos, people outside are going to hear it. They're going to be like, what's going on in here? I'm hearing bottles breaking. I'm hearing people yelling, etc. They come in. Now it's a different situation. Now you got 4-on-2. And I know they've got knives, but they can be like police.
Police. Police?
Or they could be like other people of the community. Come together, please. And they come out. They start saying some hear ye stuff because they're in Britain.
Nah, see, that's not working. I'll tell you right now.
If you had a fight, that would work.
Yeah, but still.
Because you got enough distance. And those guys aren't going to be split up. Because you got a whole, you got a whole case of bottles in between you at least.
No, I don't think that's working.
I think it could work.
I don't think it's working.
I mean,
I think the only way you could do it is you sneak around because they're both on the other side, effectively the other side of the aisle.
Yeah.
And he's peeking his head around enough that his mate can see him.
Surely those heads saw some head there. They're on amphetamine.
But that's what I'm saying. So they're looking, their eye line's really on the man. So that's what I'm saying. You don't want to be making noise. You want to be
hey, like that, just yelling.
You want to be creeping around, and then you want to be trying to, do some things.
Okay. This is it. This is the cheat code.
All right.
They can't see you. Take your clothes off. You come out. You say, "I'm on amphetamines," and then you start throwing bottles. There's, it doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter where it is. Someone's running.
They look at the bottles. They look at the beans.
Dude, you put the bottles and beans out on them,
man.
But this is the ritual, and that's why they do it. So it leads into some strain in the relationships because, one guy watched his friend die.
I mean, he's got PTSD, 100%.
Oh man,
100%.
I mean,
and then his mates are being like, "Hey, yeah, dude, what a dog bloke. He didn't even, put himself almost in harm's way.
Oh, he didn't even come out bleeding. He didn't die."
He didn't even get a finger chopped off, at least, in solidarity.
Because then, isn't it on the other dudes as well? They're looking into the establishment.
Yeah, but they're not. Oh, all right. Let's just stare. They're not staring into the the place.
Yeah, but you might be doing, hey, what's going on in there? You know, you do a left.
Yeah,
do
but
a
you don't
quick-
know. You don't know if they got like frosted glass.
They could have frosted glass.
You know what I mean?
I will say that was one of the weirdest stores I've ever seen.
It was bizarre.
Because it was just like, you walk in, it's just bottles.
Well, is it in a bottle shop?
It's a bottle shop, but it was just like, they ain't even got no like, hey, you know, here's a post on the wall saying like 2 for 1, you know, 6-packs. 2 for 1 6-packs of this beer that no one likes.
When you were in Britain, was that what you were saying?
You know, to be honest with you, I couldn't remember going into a bottle shop.
Because I was like 16, so I wasn't going into bottle shops.
I was old enough to go into bottle shops, but you can get them at like Tesco though. You go to like Tesco, you buy yourself a beer and a meal deal.
And a meal deal.
Yeah.
See, that's where they got the posters. That's why they don't need the posters at the bottle shop.
It's true because it's
Because
just
Tesco got all the posters.
Man, wow. Fantastic though, you know, mans get sliced and then diced.
And he gets diced. Cause
I don't get the dicing to be honest, but amphetamines, you know.
He wants to take off his they want him to take his wedding ring, but he doesn't want them to take it, etc.
In the back catalogue after dark, I'll tell you a story about a man with his wedding ring, but I can't say it here.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's get into the actual ritual though. So it just turns out like, you know, there's people sacrificing.
To live forever. Or do they live forever? Or they're like...
They all seem to die in that moment.
Yeah, they look like the Pirates of the Caribbean when you like the full moon shines on them. That's what they look like.
You know...
Because you just see their like jaws chattering.
Yeah, dude.
And then he just casually comes in with the torch and just lighting them on fire, like just under their chins.
Just flaming them, dude.
Yeah, and he's just stone face.
Well, because he's got PTSD at that point, you know? And he can't stand back and watch his friend die.
But yeah, so they get captured. 2 of them get captured. 2 of them get pieced up. They get skewered. They get gutted.
Yeah. I mean, what can you do? The Pirates of the Caribbean individuals. The thing about living forever, like I get it. But also like live forever in some sort of...
That's scarier to me than...
The idea of death.
The idea of death. Because you got to think, what does live forever mean? Does that mean you can't die? As in you will never die? Or it just means that you do not age, so you just, you know, if someone shoots you in the head, you're dead.
Right, which is the case with these people, you'd assume.
Yeah, or someone, you know...
Burns your chin.
Burns your chin. That's it. But is it like, hey, you're kind of some sort of sentient being where you just never die? So we're talking like heat death of the universe and you're just there going...
Just eternal. Like, well, I'm just in space now.
I'm just in space.
Like I'm literally just in space. I'm expanding and I'm like, you know, here's the thing. One thing that I don't get about these let's live forever sort of people, like move out of the forest.
That's the other thing. They're living forever, but are they living?
They ain't living, dude.
Because they got nothing there. They've literally got a couple huts.
They got nothing in this house. There's no food in that house. They got to go out and get food every day. Man. Every single day.
And
that lady looking old and frail.
Yeah. And I understand that, you know, there's a simplicity to that.
Yeah.
And understand that. But they look like they literally had like nothing.
Literally, like not even barely the shoes on their feet. You know what I mean?
There were also not enough houses to store all those heads.
There was a lot of heads. I reckon they got spaces.
We didn't see all of it. You know, we didn't see all of it. So we don't know the habitat they're in. But
here's the thing: I know that they were obviously overpowered because you know there's lots of factors why they were overpowered by these people. Let's we're taking the amphetamines out of the equation, right? These people built like they've been eating like literally whatever they could find off the ground.
Well, when he's there with the gun with the guy there and the gun doesn't shoot, 100% he could just smack him with for sure.
Dude, you touch one of their chins, not by the hair of it, and you will let they go down. This is the thing, like everyone thinks like, oh yeah, we got these guys out in the woods, like they're scary. And you know, to a degree they are, but also like they've been out in the woods like eating like, raw meat and stuff. They got parasites in their body. You think they're going to be at like, it's not going to be like John Jones is coming at you. It's going to be
John Jones, man. What a guy.
I mean, he's not a good guy.
I don't even know who he is. I'm assuming he's some sort of UFC fighter.
He's a UFC fighter, but he's not a good guy. But here's the thing about John Jones, right? He ain't in the woods.
No, because he's eating like 16 meals a day to get his protein.
That's right. He's
not eating venison.
I mean, venison, probably that would be some good protein.
Yeah, that'd be good, but I mean, you string them up. How many are you going to have?
That's the thing. Who's eating the venison? Is anyone eating anything?
What do you mean?
Because like the animal guts everything.
I don't know. And why have they got huts in different places? Is that to lure heads in there.
Do you have to go into the hut to get the ritual? Like, is that the start
And
of
is
it?
their whole thing like, hey, let's wait until people come into the mountains, into these specific woods,
Yeah.
and then
Because that, you know how that lady like had her tent and it was underneath like, you know.
yeah, this was from the
that like-
80s. Yeah,
That's the last time these dudes ate. They ain't been eating since the 80s, you know? And maybe that's it. Maybe it's like, you know, it's a 20-something year.
maybe that's why
famine.
they were frail.
Here's the thing, you know, this movie is obviously,
It's fine.
it's fine.
It's fine.
But-
I didn't like the fact. I think for me, most of the movies that are there's this thing out there. The idea of it is more terrifying, or it's more interesting than the actual thing it ever is.
One of the best shots, in my opinion, and this is why I say it's more interesting. And you're right. You're right. When you build up the suspense, especially in a big monster movie, for example, or just any monster movie, for example, His House, our last episode, like your idea of His House, Mr. His, was was much scarier than the actual house that we saw.
Yeah.
Right? I feel in this case, what we see at the end, and especially when it's holding that lady up with like she ain't got no eyes anymore,
Yeah,
dude, that is one of the best
it's scary.
monster shots I've seen in
No,
movies.
that is a great design for a monster.
It's cool.
I guess I just didn't think it was that scary. Like the idea of it, I don't know. There wasn't enough in the you know the third act. I've broken my thumb and gotten out of these things, even though now my thumb's fine. You know, 5 minutes
fine,
later,
yeah.
that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's
No,
not
you do
fun.
it. No.
And it's and there just wasn't. You know, you still don't see anything. Mans goes like, "Hey, Gale. Oh no, it's this man's with you know his head around my face," and that's kind of it. And then it's just like galloping around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, everyone's death is like sort of mapped out. You know, like one man's death is mapped out. He's saying, "Hey, I'm Gale." Maybe it's because he was the one that got the ritual.
See, I think that's the other thing. I thought that there was going to be some sort of it shows you some sort of scene, some sort of thing, and then that was how our boy, what was his name, Luke?
Which man?
Was it Luke? Chris?
The guy that
The
died
main
the second?
guy. No, the main guy.
Oh, the main guy. I don't know what his name is.
I think it was like Luke.
Luke, man, yeah.
Anyway, Luke, I thought it was going to be, okay, he's going to show me the scene. There's going to be something here, and then he's going to work out, okay, you know, I got to crouch down. I got to get the beans out. I got to get the vodka bottle. Do you know what I mean? I thought there was going to be some sort of, this is how we're
beat
going
the
to beat
system.
it. That's
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I thought. Just because it felt like it was leading up to that,
And then you
and
just
I don't think necessarily that it needed to be that for it to be a good movie or good plot. It was just it felt like it was leading up to that, and then when it didn't, it just felt a bit.
it was very anticlimactic. Like
Yeah.
literally, you see what I think is the best shot is when there's the flames, the things rolling up with the lady in its hands, and then that alone is like, this is terrifying. And then after that, when it's like chasing it, whatever, when it does stretch out into like a totem pole,
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
But literally, I don't know if it's meant to be like, hey, this is your moment to fight back. But he didn't save any of his friends. And then he hits it with the axe and he rolls out of the forest.
Yeah, and then it's like, what now, strange man?
That's
You know,
it.
that was it.
That's why it's anticlimactic. Like there should have been some, and you know, in many ways there is. You know, maybe we can say like he learned how to survive,
It would have been better if he died, to be honest. I think story wise,
especially sacrificing the Gale, like no, as in sacrificing himself to save Gale, that man that was screaming Gale, the man with the glasses and the meniscus tear.
yeah. I don't know how they could have fixed this. I was enjoying the movie up until basically when they got to the basically up until Gale.
Gale and those two together did not have the like.
He was annoying.
Gale was annoying, and also the Chris man, Luke, left hand Luke, whatever the man's
Dude,
name
left
is.
hand Luke, and all he was doing was smoking
Oh, dude, like that man was literally like, wake up,
cigarettes.
cigarettes. I mean, if he had snores, that would have just been like even easier for him. He didn't even need to light nothing. And he can return to that when he needs. But yeah, just very anticlimactic for what it was. Like it led up to what literally felt like nothing.
Did he use the axe at all?
He stabbed it and it went like, oh man, I've been stabbed.
Oh, yeah,
and then it
that's
was
right.
like, that was enough to him to get away and say like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm Luke. I'm left hand Luke. Right hand broke, so I'm left hand now.
It felt like they ran out of time
In making this movie.
It felt like they were going, oh, this movie's due at midnight tonight. Like submissions close 11:59.
You know, they were thinking about that shot. They're like, we got the shot. This is what we want. I see the screen. Like, this is what's going to be on the screen. Yeah, but what happens next?
Dude, it's the Planet of the Apes, but there's Eagle situation.
Exactly right.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, and they got there. They made something of it.
They made something. They didn't make as much money as Planet of the Apes.
I mean, I don't think they made any money because it's a Netflix movie.
Oh, yeah, it's a Netflix movie.
And it's the front page of something. Listen, that was Weet-Bix, and this has been the back catalogue.
Talk soon.